What's up guys, Rui here, welcome back to the channel. I feel like it's been a while since I just sat down and talked. Therefore, with the recent collaboration between Undercover and Evangelion that was showcased during their runway show for the Autumn-Winter 21 collection, what better time is it to just sit down and talk about it? If you have been following the channel for a while now, then you probably know that I'm a huge nerd when it comes to fashion, video games, or anime. Therefore, I'm just super excited to see this whole collaboration happening, especially with one of my favorite brands out there, and I can safely say that this is probably one of the best anime collabs to happen in recent times, in my opinion. So for today's video, I'm not going to be diving deep into the lore or history about the Evangelion franchise, as there are plenty of other dedicated anime channels out there that will be able to provide you with more accurate and in-depth information. Instead, we will be taking a look at the entire collection as a whole, and also talking more about how this collection takes the anime collabs to the next level. Before I dive into today's video, I am trying to hopefully hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of this month, so it would really mean so much to me if you guys can go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I feel as much as the bridge between these two worlds have come closer than ever before, and with the anime culture getting more and more mainstream, most oftentimes when we do get such collabs, they are mostly still in forms of printed graphic t-shirts and hoodies. While there is nothing wrong with it, as some of the artwork are pretty darn sick, I do feel in terms of fashion wise it is probably the safest, but also the most boring route, as they're basically just prints on blank. For example, Babe would oftentimes be mentioned because they usually will have some sort of collaboration with either an anime or video game franchise every year, but it's always in the same format, which are just releases of a bunch of tees and hoodies with both parties graphic on them. Uniqlo's UT line, which focuses solely on graphic t-shirts and hoodies, would be another brand that is pretty well known for their frequent collaborations with many different IPs. In fact, they actually recently collaborated with Evangelion as well and came up with a bunch of different t-shirt designs. Being highly accessible and affordable at the same time, this would probably be something that everyone can get into, whether you are into fashion or not. To me, I think it's fine if these were just merch, but if we were to look at it from a fashion point of view, there is nothing really interesting in terms of silhouette or design wise. I feel like there's just so much more that can be done in terms of either bringing some of the design elements from the IP itself into the garments, or just incorporating more interesting silhouettes paired up with the graphic designs. That being said, there are some collabs out there that actually took it up a notch and absolutely killed it. Back in 2018, Yohji Yamamoto's Japan-only line Ground Y teamed up with the Ghost in the Shell anime to bring about some absolutely stunning pieces, which they follow up again the following year as well. In a very typical Yohji style, the pieces focuses a lot on drapiness and oversized silhouette. In fact, in the same year, they also collaborated with Evangelion and came up with a bunch of really amazing cut and sew pieces that were accompanied with some of the most amazing artwork on them. After watching the entire runway segment for the collaboration, I would definitely put the Undercover and Evangelion collab to be in the same class as Ground Y, or maybe even higher, as each and every piece is straight out fire. I just love how Jun is not afraid to go all out for this collection, because oftentimes when we do think about fashion within anime or video games, it always gets relayed back to this very cosplay centric, whereby some might not even consider it to be actual fashion, which I do get where they are coming from, but at the same time, I think that it's a shame to completely shut it off, because I do strongly believe that there are so much inspiration that one can get, and vice versa, which this collection absolutely shows. This is why I truly love the entire collection, because it challenges the notion and truly pushes the boundaries between cosplay and fashion. You have pieces that what once was only thought of to be a cosplay piece now being reconceptualized into an actual fashion piece. It does feel like it's taking a step backwards over on the cosplay side of things by not being totally accurate in terms of the details of the piece, but 2 steps forward in terms of challenging and pushing the boundaries of what can be done with such a collaboration. With how fashion has evolved these days, more oftentimes than not, it does feel like we are actually just cosplaying at the end of the day. It's just in a different form. The collaboration is in conjunction with the latest and last film in the rebuild of Evangelion series. For me, I really love how wearable all the pieces are, but at the same time still having so many references towards the anime. The collection actually utilizes a lot of fairly simple and ready to wear silhouettes such as parkas, coats, and sweaters. Among the collection, there were a variety of pieces that took direct inspiration from the actual character and costume designs, such as the plug suit that the pilots wore being reinterpreted into sweaters, and puffer jackets having the same color blocking as the main units. But probably the most standout and highlighted piece from this entire collection are the headpiece or helmets that were inspired by the main character's EVA units. For all the Evangelion fans and fashion daredevils out there, it's time to rejoice because according to Sabukaru, an online magazine based in Tokyo, they confirmed that all the helmets will be going into production and you will be able to purchase them sometime later this year. If anime inspired pieces are not your thing, there also were a number of other wear pieces that feature massive artwork of the anime character and EVA units instead. I absolutely love the art style as it has this very unique sketch-like feel that looks very raw and unfinished, which also, in my opinion, does have some art style similarity as the collab pieces from Ground Y. I do think you are able to incorporate them into your everyday wardrobe pretty easily, but at the same time being a statement piece with such aggressive artwork on them. My favorite piece in the entire collection is this single-breasted coat. I think it is a very slick and simple silhouette, while at the same time having this massive graphic outline of the Unit 01. I can definitely see myself incorporating it with a more tech wear aesthetic. There is still no official pricing available yet, but my bet is that even at retail, it is going to be extremely expensive. And even if you do have the money, quantity wise, it is probably going to be pretty limited. Furthermore, considering how hyped the whole entire collection is, you might have to pay resale price on top of the already expensive price tag. In my opinion, this collection really does set a new benchmark for future anime collabs to come. And I think a lot of brands out there, whether it be on the affordable side all the way up to the high-end luxury, can take away something from this. I think even if you are not a fan of the franchise or don't know much about it, you still will be able to appreciate the design and silhouette of the pieces. As always, if you did watch all the way to the end, thank you so incredibly much. And hopefully this video kind of makes sense for you guys, because it was actually pretty difficult for me to kind of put my thoughts into a video format for this topic. So yeah, if you did enjoy watching through this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel or just haven't been subscribed yet, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button down below, as it really does help the channel out a long way. That's all I have for today's video. Stay safe. Till then, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.